Hello everyone, welcome back. There was a time, a long time ago, about 20 years ago, I made my living cutting timber. And we manually cut everything. That was my job. I was a feller. I cut the trees down. And we ran Husqvarna chainsaws. We ran the saw that I cut with was a 288xp with 32-inch bar. We have some pretty sizable hardwoods in what we were cutting, and gave us good service. But we also ran 3 or 4 of these 372s, and we ran them with both 20-inch and 24-inch bars. This one has a 24-inch bar. I quit cutting timber in about 2004, I guess, somewhere around there. And I bought this saw somewhere around early 2000s. I can't remember exactly, but anyhow, in the video the other day, me cutting firewood, this saw I use, this is like I said, it's 372xp. I think it's 72cc, something like that. Of the saws that we ran, the Husqvarna saws that we ran on the logging job, we had, I think we ran the 288, 3 of these 372s, maybe 4 of them, I can't remember. And then we had a couple of small saws, a 261 and a 262. And but anyhow, the 288 and the 372s were never in the shop. And there's no telling how many hours they had on them. You know, we cut every day with them. And millions of log feet of timber were cut, topped, trimmed with these saws. Now, we done everything manual. There was no mechanization. We didn't have a tree feller or a processor or anything like that. Everything was cut, bucked, and by hand. But none of them was ever in the shop. Now, one of the small saws, either 261 or 262, and I can't remember which, was a dog, a piece of junk. We hauled it around the back of a truck forever, hoping somebody'd steal it, and they never would. But the other ones gave great service. So, like I said, this is what I use. But this saw has never been in the shop. I've used it to cut firewood. Like I said, it's got a 24-inch bar on it. Been real pleased with it. It does an excellent job. It starts every time you try to start it. Now, it may not start on the first pull, but it does start. It's got the plug that came in it, and it's been an outstanding saw. Now, when you get into chainsaws, it's like the Ford, Chevy, Dodge debate. Everybody's got a brand they like. All I can speak for is the experience I've had. This is not a paid endorsement of Husqvarna or anything like that. It's just going along with the equipment that we use here on the farm. This is our chainsaw. It runs really good. Like I said, it has no trouble. It is a little heavy. The 24-inch bar versus the 20. Cutting firewood, people say, well, that's a little long for cutting firewood. Yes and no. I don't have to bend over as much with that longer bar. And if you run into something bigger you need to cut, you've got the ability to cut it. The saw will handle it. It's running I think it's 88 drive link 3/8 chain on it. So I run just a standard chisel tooth chain on it. But it just a little about the saw. I really like it. Been pleased with it. Yeah, I would recommend 372xp. Now, like I said, this is the older saw. This is pre-emissions and all that good stuff. But it's done me very well. But just a little bit about it. Just a quick review on this chainsaw. And, you know, it's just what I, you know, kind of my experience with it. Funny story about the 288. The guy bought it. Like I said, it had a 32-inch bar. We were getting into some big red oak, white oak trees. I'm talking, you know, 30 to 50-inch diameter trees that I was felling. And he bought it, got 32-inch bar. Now, it was a chunk. It was heavy. And I carried that sucker every day for years. But funny thing about it was, the first tree I cut down with it was a chestnut oak. And I notched it and I bored it, faced it out. And when I cut it, the tree twisted on the stump. And when it twisted, it pinched the bar and slid off the stump and drove the saw into the ground. Just buried it. Fortunately, it was in very soft, spongy ground. And the only thing it did was crack the pull rope housing. And we never got it fixed. Ran it from then on. It did bend the handle just a little bit. But the very first tree I cut with it, I almost destroyed it. And that saw then, that close to 20 years ago, was probably, see, I started cutting timber in 2000, or 99, 2000, early 2000. And that saw was probably $1,200–1,300 then. It was an expensive saw. I was sitting on top of a ridge sharpening it when I heard about the 9/11 attacks, 2001. So I was sitting on a cherry log. You know, everybody says you remember exactly where you was at. I was sitting on a cherry log sharpening that saw. But anyhow, it's just a quick review on the Husqvarna 372xp. It's a great saw. I highly recommend it if you can pick you one up. But like I said, it's not a endorsement. It's just my opinion and my experience. That's all I can speak to. So until next time, like us, subscribe to us, check us out on Facebook, Rocky Hollow Farms, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.